Joe, what changed after Banchero sat with his fifth foul?
And I think it was just obviously their coverage has changed because of the personnel that they had, and we had no turnovers in the third quarter.
Obviously, he's known as a big-time offensive player for them, but when he, like you said, when he sat, that allowed you guys to all of a sudden the three-pointers started to really flow. What was it about their defense that changed that kind of allowed for you guys to kind of play more like yourselves?
I mean, they had to go to a double big lineup that they haven't gone to before, and they changed their coverages, and they did less switching, and when there's less switching, there's easier two-on-ones.
Late in the third quarter, you run the same play 3 times in a row after a timeout. Did you wanted to play that play like 3 times in a row, or the first time work and you just asked the guy to keep going?
Yeah, I mean, there was a couple counters to it, so just wanted to test the coverages, and the guys did a great job going through the progressions. They do a tremendous job of changing coverages and matchups throughout, and they're really physical. And so we just needed to have certain layers of actions, and the guys just did a great job going through the progressions, of that play.
Joe, it feels like Jaylen has been super intentional about pushing the pace off of misses and makes these last 2 games. After Game 3, where it felt like they slowed you down a little bit and kept you, in the backcourt for long, what has that done for your guys' offense?
Yeah, I mean, he's been intentional in every area of the game. I think, as he, once he got healthy to start off the series, his defense is back to kind of, where it was throughout the season. And just his playmaking. I mean, his efficiency this series was off. He does a great job of getting to his spot, getting the shot that he wants, or getting it for his teammates. I thought a big play where this was the kick-out 3 that he made to Al in front of our bench. I think that kind of started our offensive poise after we turned it over there. So I think he's just been, tremendous in all areas. And, again, he has the ability to take it to another level mentally and physically, and I thought he did that to start the third quarter for us.
It was a physical series. They kind of took you out of a lot of stuff you normally do offensively. What did Jayson do throughout this series to kind of navigate that and stay poised in a lot of the bigger moments?
Yeah, I mean, we did a good job of understanding how they were defending. Every team has different strengths and weaknesses. Every team guards us differently. I thought the regular season gave us tremendous data on the different ways that we were going to be defended and what that looks like. And so he did a great job of staying patient, going through his progressions, whether it was him screening in the first couple games, him handling the last few games, and in this game, in the third quarter, his play there. So at the end of the day, every game is different. Every team is different. You'd have to be ready to answer the call, play solution-oriented basketball, and I thought he did that.
You talk about how every team has different strengths and weaknesses, but how much did dealing with their physicality throughout the series and how they protected the perimeter prepare you and benefit you guys for future series?
Yeah, I mean, they had to deal with our physicality as well, and they had to deal with our defense. And I thought both teams, I thought that was the theme of the series, was the trenches and the physicality there. And every series, every game presents lessons. You have to take those lessons if you're fortunate to move on. So there's a lot that we can learn from this series, and we got to be ready for whoever we play against.
I know you were asked this before the game, but you guys got the win, and now you have a little bit of chance to rest. How important is that to make quick work of a series like this in the first round?
Yeah, I mean, good and bad. I mean, it can be good, it can be bad. I mean, we'll exit the arena for a couple of days, but that could be good. But I think as you start to get ready for the next series, you got to re-enter the arena and you got to get ready. So. We'll take the days that we need, and then we'll get right back at it. Even without knowing an opponent, there's stuff that we have to get better at. So both of those things are important.
Joe, like you said, we don't know your next opponent quite yet, but what stands out to you in general about the Knicks and the Pistons?
The margins. You got to be able to rebound. You got to be able to defend without fouling. You got to be able to take care of the basketball.
Any other questions for Joe?
Joe, the discussion a lot on the outside has been the fact that they've limited your threes, but even despite that, going into tonight, there was still a 3-1 lead, and you guys have been, either leading or hanging in there. Was it a point of pride for you guys that you were able to win in different ways, something you've talked about a lot throughout the year, and not necessarily just need the three-point shot to fall to?
I mean, it's never been at the end of the day, we have to, how are we being guarded? What are the matchups? How can we create an advantage? That's the most important thing. And, this year more than the past, we've dealt with a variety of matchups and coverage, puzzles. and we have to solve those. And so that's the most important thing. So our guys did a great job of having understanding what's the matchup, what's the coverage, what's the best read versus that coverage. Our free throw rate was 30%, so it was 10% higher in this playoffs than it was in the entire regular season. So you just have to find different ways. You have to be able to go to different things, and our drives per game were up, and our free throw rate was up, and that's what this series called for. And every series, every game calls for different stuff, and I think the best thing this team has done this season is just have an understanding. You have to be able to win in different ways on both sides of the ball.
Joe, you mentioned the margins. Was there anything in the second half that allowed you guys to control those a little bit more?
Yeah, we didn't turn it over in the third quarter.
Simple as that?
That's that simple. Occam's razor. Thank you.